The first coronavirus case in the U.S. was confirmed on January 21. At that point, CDC began developing a test kit to diagnose coronavirus cases. The FDA gave CDC emergency authorization to manufacture and issue this test kit around February 4th. Isn't that right? We talked about South Korea and the U.S. Let me just drill down for a second because this is very instructive. The U.S. and South Korea both experienced their first confirmed coronavirus cases roughly within a day of each other. The U.S. on January 21st and South Korea on January 20th. Interestingly, both countries developed a test to diagnose coronavirus roughly around the same time. The U.S. on February 4th and South Korea on February 7th, just 3 days later. But then our testing at that point, the activities diverged dramatically. Here we have a chart that shows the testing activities of 4 countries, the U.S., South Korea, Italy, and the U.K., on 3 separate dates in the past 3 weeks. You see, from 0 till March 10th, South Korea tested 4,000 people for every million persons in its population. Italy, in the blue bar, tested 1,000 people for every million people in the population. UK, 400 for every million. Now, where is the red bar representing the United States, Dr. Redfield?
I don't see it on that graph.
I don't see it either, but I can assure you that the data is there. It just doesn't show up. It doesn't show up. It turns out that Korea had tested 4,000 people for every million of its citizenry, and we are at 15 people for every million people in this country. That's a response, a testing response that's almost 300 times more aggressive than what's here in this country. And the problem, Dr. Redfield, is that when we don't test as rapidly as we should, the virus spreads and people die. Now let's talk about the situation going forward. Vice President Mike Pence said on Monday, quote, "Before the end of this week, another 4 million tests will be distributed." But the real question I submit is not when the tests will be distributed, it's when the tests will be performed on people so that they can know whether they have contracted coronavirus. Now, South Korea currently tests 15,000 people per day. Whether it's through high throughput, low throughput, medium throughput, it doesn't matter. They test 15,000 people per day. Dr. Redfield, when are we going to be reaching 15,000 people per day tested in this country?
The CDC developed this test for the United States public health system. We did not develop this test for all of clinical medicine. The test for clinical medicine, we count on the private sector to work together with the FDA to bring those tests to bear. And I said, finally...
So you're blaming the private sector?
I'm not blaming, I'm just
You're passing the buck to the private sector.
Blaming.
Sir, because of this, the virus is spreading, people are getting sick, people are dying. Thank you.